This question comes from Kristen in California. How do I start simple with my flipped classroom? And I really like this question because we get to talk about efficiency. And really what we want to focus on in the stages of flipping, we really want to focus on stage one for keeping it simple. And stage one means that students are going to be watching the lecture videos inside of the classroom so that you can help scaffold their process of watching and taking notes and processing the video lecture content. Now, where this plays into keeping it simple is that you can do that for an extended period of time, because really when we're talking about flipping the classroom, we're talking about an efficiency shift, where before we were spending all this time providing direct instruction or lecture to the students and then a very small amount of time allowing students to apply their learning. It's really flipping that. Now we can provide a very small amount of time having students interact with the lecture content and spend a much larger portion of our class time having students apply their learning. And how that's possible is the efficiency shift that comes with filming your lecture content. Those 60-minute lectures in a high school classroom that you did over and over every day, every semester, every year, those are 10-minute videos. In a middle school classroom, the 45-minute lecture or the 30-minute lecture are 6-7 minutes long. And in an elementary school, those 5-minute, 10-minute direct instruction lessons, those are 2 or 3 4-minute videos. So that's a huge efficiency shift right there, that we can just play those videos in the classroom after we've created the efficient versions. Play those 10-minute in a high school classroom. Play those 10-minute videos for the students, have them watch that as the first 10 minutes of class, and then spend the rest of the time having students apply their learning. Now that right there is even better than what it was like before in the lecture classroom, because the lecture is shorter and that lecture content is also available outside of the classroom for students to watch after class, outside of the school, before their quizzes, before their tests, and even they can sit down with their parents at home and watch that lecture content. And for the instructor, from the teacher standpoint, this allows you to ease into a flipped classroom, because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to experiment knowing that the students have seen the lecture content and that the lecture content is available to them, because you watch them watch it. And you can help scaffold how they take notes on it while you're sitting there in the classroom. And then you use the rest of the time to start experimenting with grouping techniques and start experimenting with differentiated instruction. And when you're ready to move on, and the students as well, probably the students will be ready faster than you will, I would imagine, not very long into this process, into stage one, students will probably start saying, you know what, why don't we just watch this outside of the classroom? Like, I watch this stuff outside anyway, so let's just go with that. So let the students encourage you to make this shift, but also use the time knowing that the students are getting the information and feeling confident that they're getting that content. Use that class time to really start experimenting, learning about high-level differentiated instruction and advanced grouping techniques, and also things like having students create and publish their own videos to expand upon their knowledge of the content. So that's how to start very simple in a flipped classroom.